Good morning, Central Texas. Welcome to Kids Community Connections. And I'm Phyllis Jones, your host for this morning. You know what? I have a little bitty co-host. She's a little bitty person. And, I really like talking to children because the more we talk to them and the more that we give them a chance to talk, the more they grow and the more they know. So, good morning, Madison. How you doing?
Good.
Is this a good morning for you?
Yes.
Are you ready to be on the radio?
Yes.
Sounds weird, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How old are you?
6.
She's 6 years old. What grade are you going into?
Second.
Second grade? Are you ready?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
You got your brain open?
Yeah.
And you ready to learn?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So Madison is my little short co-host this morning. So every now and then she might throw a few words in there. Okay. So you know she's more important than her father who's on here. He didn't know that. Apparently, I didn't tell him that secret, but she's more important than he is. But anyway, we got a good show today, and we're going to talk about a topic that we shouldn't even be discussing today. We really shouldn't be. I mean, because it's so old and so long, and many people have forgotten who this person is, and they just assume, like we always do, if we think when we don't hear about anything for a while, we assume that everything is done and closed, forget it, and we missed on what happened. But let's go to a little background. In May 2014, I don't know about anybody else, but at 5 o'clock in the morning, I am the idiot that's up. I'm up and exercising, actually, at 5 o'clock in the morning and getting ready to go to work. Anyway, I leave to go to work at 6:30. That sounds like an ungodly hour. But anyway, I'm going to work at 6:30, and I go down a certain street, and I turn down another street to go to work. The first thing that you don't like when you're on your way to work is being disrupted. That ticks you off. I don't care what. When you leave your house and something is blocking your way, you are totally disrupted. You thrown off, you ticked off, and you calling people a bunch of names who have no idea what you're saying. So that particular morning, my street was blocked off by the police department. Wow. It was totally blocked off. Okay, let me do this real quick. John Crow is one of my guests.
How you doing, everybody?
And Nancy Pfeister is my other guest.
Hi.
John Crow's in the building.
Okay, so when you hear somebody comment, it's going to be John. So yes, I was on my way to work. I turned down that street to go to work, and the police were blocking it, so I was quite upset. But then I was also thinking very deeply because there was too many police cars. It wasn't just one. It was all of them. Yeah, it looked like a whole police department was there, So I go to work, whatever, come back later, and I find out that Killeen had did a no-knock warrant. First of all, I was shocked that we, being a city of our size, would do a no-knock warrant. I'm thinking, what big-time drug dealer lives on that street? Really, for real? So I'm thinking, okay, maybe somebody did live on that street, and maybe they were a big-time drug dealer. Then little do I find out that the man's name is Marvin Guy. I find out that during the no-knock warrant, the first thing that happened was they came into his window, full blown, and he did what everybody else would do: protect your house, because somebody just woke you up, scared the you-know-what out of you. So the first thing you think of is defense, correct?
That's correct. That's correct.
All right, it's the first thing you think of because, like I said, that mind thing doesn't work, where your mind link with their mind and you know who it is, doesn't work. No. Okay, so naturally he did what he did best to protect himself.
Right.
He started shooting.
Yes.
Except for when he started shooting, he shot a cop and killed him.
Well, that's debatable.
And I know, and he shot another cop in his knee.
That's debatable.
And also we learned that his girlfriend was there, and she was taken across the street at the laundromat, and laid down in a gown. They made her lay face down for 30 minutes. I don't know what that meant, but okay. We learned that's what happened. Well, most of our city was in an uproar because, first of all, no knocking, city of Killeen, for real. Come on now. And then no drugs were found. No drugs were found in this house. No drugs were found in this car. Gee. And naturally he was arrested. Right. And that's all we heard. Correct?
Yep.
That's it. We didn't know nothing else.
Then it went black, yes. Then it went black. And we figured, okay, but now certainly he must be free. Certainly they figured it out that if he hit the premise for going in there was you were busting a drug dealer. Right. Gotcha. Okay. Obviously, there are no drugs on the premises, no drugs on him. So you got to think that if my reason for doing a no-knock warrant fell apart, then I should let this guy go because he's now just a regular citizen who shot the guy coming through his window, as I would probably do.
Right.
Right? But
yes,
that's not what happened. And I really thought that this case had gone away. I read something in the Killeen paper the other day, and then, like, he's still sitting in jail with no trial date,
right?
Which enraged me. I was like, as a citizen, I was enraged that no trial date. So you just got this guy rotting in prison. What has it been, like 4 or 5 years?
Since 2014.
2014. And this guy's been rotting there, and you haven't even took him to trial. The guy who shot the church has already been to trial and is in prison and has been adjudicated, you know. So how is this guy still sitting in jail? You know, at least let him go on bail.
Right.
That's what you're going to do. Or reduce his bail to something he can get out on. I don't understand this one. I was like, and people who know me know I speak out against police injustices all the time. And to find out that this was happening in my city, under my nose, I'm like, oh no, y'all got the right one this time. Y'all got the right guy. I'm not here to debate his guilt or innocence, although I lean toward, if your Black Lives Matters, then the first duty is to protect it, yourself. So if someone's coming through my window, they will be met with stern resistance. Right? So, but it's not about whether or not this guy was or was not a drug dealer. That's not even what I'm talking about now. I'm talking about, how come you won't even take this case to trial? Are you waiting for people to forget and the evidence to die? That's the only thing I can think of.
But you know, and before I get to you, Nancy, let's stay with the first part of him getting arrested. Let's stay right there.
All right.
We're going to stay right in that story. And we're going to talk about the dumbest thing in life.
Okay.
Remember I told you his girlfriend was also there?
Yes.
She was arrested.
She was arrested.
And she was taken to jail.
Yes.
They searched her house.
Yes.
And guess what she got written up for?
What?
Now, she has a 9-year-old son. I need to throw that in there.
Okay.
So, okay, John, I don't know. You might have to hold John because he going to go slam off. She was written up because she has an excessive amount of water guns in her house.
Water guns? Water guns?
Water gun, yeah.
An excessive amount of squirt guns. So, is that a law not to have squirt guns?
No. Yeah.
I'm just saying that's what they wrote on her paperwork. She has a 9-year-old son too, mind you.
Okay.
Yes, but she had an excessive amount.
Not a weapon.
So
a water gun is not a weapon.
So how many water guns are the legal limit?
I don't know.
Right.
But I was thinking, can you super soak a police to death? Somebody to death? Can I super soak you to death?
And
I'm just saying.
Yes. And so certainly then she went free, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
After 3 days.
After 3 days.
3 days.
Yeah, it takes that long to
search her house.
Search her house and destroy your manufactured stuff. Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't get that. And figure out why you were there. Takes that long. Yeah. Okay, what are we gonna say? We found water guns.
An excessive amount
of water guns. Yes.
Yes.
It takes that long to say something like that. And again, oh come on, KPD. I be pulling for you, but doggone, man. You know.
and the legal team, of course, are court-appointed lawyers for the defense of Marvin.
The first that he had was court-appointed. And if you remember, I don't know if you remember, he fired him.
Yes.
So he was a while without any. I've been in contact with his brother. His brother Garrett lives here and now lives in Killeen. So I've been in contact with Garrett. And Marvin wanted an African-American lawyer. And he wanted a Hispanic lawyer because he felt that would help him out. So I helped him get the one African-American lawyer he has, which is Anthony Smith. And then his other lawyer's name is Garcia.
Correct.
So he fired the first set because he said they weren't working for him.
Yes.
They would tell him what to plea on. Other than that, because the only law Marvin actually broke is he is a felon, so he was not allowed to have a gun. But I think he served the time already for the gun.
That was 1997.
So
as that bank robbery conviction, and then of course prohibited from having firearms.
Yes. So, but I think he served that time already.
And was that here, or was that in another state?
That was here.
It was.
That was here.
All right.
That was here. Yeah, that was here.
As far as I understand, his lawyers are wanting more discovery,
correct,
more evidence, and they keep. It seems like there's a back and forth with the prosecution on discovery.
Yes,
and that the defense claims that the prosecution is not releasing the details or some of the facts that the defense is requesting.
Yes,
and it goes back and forth, and you would think that discovery, especially from the Michael Morton case, which was the big Austin case some 20 years ago, where Michael Morton was convicted of murdering his wife, and he claimed his innocence the whole time, but he was tried, and he spent, like I say, 20 years in jail until the Innocence Project helped reveal the things that the prosecution would not allow in the case as part of very crucial information on where alibi or things about the case that would have ruled out the husband as a murderer. So anyway, this Michael Morton case has become then put into action some further rules and some established facts now that prosecutions have to be more forthcoming, and they cannot withhold certain parts of evidence. So anyway, because of that, there's still the play going on with information, from what I understand, which I am just a very simple, unknowing citizen. But I felt like this was becoming more and more of unknown details and circumstances from this very serious case in which this officer is deceased, very sad and very tragic situation, and other officers were hurt. But because it happened so long ago and there was little information seemingly let out, we came to not understanding why this man is being jailed this long, and what about the Castle Doctrine, which says that you have a right to protect your home.
Yes.
And even if he had, even if he wasn't supposed to have a firearm, do police not take a risk when they do a no-knock arrest? Are they not risking a whole situation in which they don't know what is going to transpire, yet they're assuming what should happen?
Yes.
And it should be that they are allowed to bust in your window or door. And do they need to announce themselves? They must. They must say that who they are.
On a no-knock, they announce as they're doing the no-knock.
Okay.
But the problem is, as you kicking in my door, you announcing, I didn't hear you.
I didn't hear you. Right.
Or it's boom, my door just exploded. Police. No.
Yes.
No. And well, so it goes to the bigger question of the no-knock warrant itself.
Yes.
Should only be used in the most extreme cases. And I think in this case, our beloved police department just wanted to use it. Just could. And they use it over an informants, an unnamed informants.
Right.
This guy said that he has drugs in his house. This guy says he has guns in his house. So therefore, we're gonna get a no-knock warrant. Stop. Wait. You can catch him, arrest him as he goes to the gas station, to the corner store, if that's what you really want to do.
Right.
Is arrest this guy for something. You don't have to bust in his house at dark 30. You can arrest him when he goes to the gas station, to the grocery store. Then you can say, okay, we got you here. We're gonna search your house now. Oh, we didn't find anything. So now what I want to know is, who was your informant? Obviously, he's giving you bad information. And how many other people did he give this bad information on? Because this isn't the only case of the no-knock warrant in Killeen. There's another guy who got killed, right?
Yes, Reed.
So,
just recently.
Reed, yes.
Reed.
So what was your information on that case? That was another unnamed informant? Huh?
You know the informant that they used.
Same dude.
The informant that they used for Marvin Guy. Do you know the informant gave them the wrong diagram of the house?
Okay, he might not have been in there. That's what I'm driving at.
He gave the wrong. So that's why I want to know how you. If I've been at your house and I give the wrong diagram, then there's something wrong with me.
Yes.
Because I would think that the police would get their own diagram of the place.
You can go down and get the building blueprint.
I thought that's what.
That's the minimum. Yes, you can do that.
Okay. Are you also aware of the KPD that you're loved KPD?
My brothers, man. Come on, KPD.
Okay,
I'm pulling for you.
Okay, there were 57 shell casings on the floor. 2 were Marvins. But just 2 were his.
Yes.
He killed one cop and shot the other in the knee.
Right.
So the rest of the bullets were KPD, and I don't know where they went. My question is, where'd they go? So they're bad shots. They can't
Obviously,
shoot.
Marvin is a better shot than y'all. That's another reason you're mad.
Because I'm like, how do you shoot 55 shell casings and you hit nothing?
Oh, you hit something.
Well, I mean, you know what I mean. But you got one man in a room and all that.
And during this barrage, according to Mr. Guy's statements, he heard his window being broken, and then his words, like, all hell broke loose, and the bullets, a huge amount of bullets and firing and flash. What is the term?
Flashbang grenades.
Flashbang. Yeah.
Where the smoke is rising and nobody sees it, and mass chaos, confusion. But also then in one of the newspaper reports, it was stated during this 5 years, how long this has been going on. At one point, it was said that the 9mm bullet casing was found. This is so disturbing. Was physically the size that hit the officers, that was the deadly bullet, and that casing or that bullet hit killed the officer, and that then that is the same weapon that Mr. Guy had in his home. So the 9mm size was his gun alone. And I'm just wondering how that was allowed to be a detail in publishing in the newspaper when there was a gag order, or there is a gag order.
The gag order wasn't in place at that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But I don't think Marvin is disputing that he shot.
Right.
Right? Which he should not be, because he's defending his home. The only, and I'm gonna, KPD, if you listen, I'm on your side. I'm gonna play your advocate for a second. You have a known felon who should not have a firearm to start with, and then you smash into his house, and you're surprised that he's shooting at you because you thought you can go ahead and spray your bullets, and he's supposed to just take that, and he didn't take that, and so you're mad because he had the firearm in the first place. I can almost understand that logic if you analogize it to insurance. You're driving down the road and a guy hits you, and then when you come to exchange insurance information, you find out he doesn't have any insurance. So no matter what happened, he's automatically at fault because he shouldn't have been driving down the road in the first place because he didn't have insurance. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's the only analogy I could give that could kind of make that make sense. But stop. If you were to have broken into any other person's home but Mr. Guy's, broken into my home, and I have all of the weapons.
And they're not water pistols.
And I don't own a water pistol.
No super soaker. No super soaker.
No super soaker. They'll get you wet. And I start defending my home as I've been praying I can do. Right? And you get mad because you broke into the wrong home with the right person inside. Right?
Yep.
So the issue is the no-knock warrant existing. You got it from a judge on bad information.
But wait, back up. No, wait, back up.
What? You back up?
Yeah,
I'm
back
wrong?
up. Yeah.
Oh.
You're right, but there's something happened before that.
Okay.
The warrant for his arrest was issued by Harker Heights Police Department. Harker Heights Police Department cannot do a no-knock or nothing in Killeen.
Yes.
So Harker Heights had to contact KPD to get this done.
So the plot thickens.
Yeah, so
Harker Heights sent y'all in there.
well, not with the no-knock, but they sent them there for the arrest and all that. So on Palm Bell County, KPD getting it, then it becomes a judge order. And it's the same judge anyway. It's the same judge that signs up most of these no-knock.
Yes.
Check that out.
Yes.
But then the judge okays them to do it. So this came from Heights.
So it came from Heights. So
yeah, it wasn't even
Heights,
started here.
So then the question now then you got to wait till he comes to Harker Heights.
Yeah.
If you're going to arrest him.
Right? Yeah.
So your informant informed you on something that happened in Killeen and you Harker Heights Police Department.
Right.
Okay, your unnamed informant.
Yes.
Let's go with that.
Smart person.
So the unnamed informant informed Harker Heights Police Department, hey man, this guy in Killeen is got the stuff. Alright? So then what you should do is walk your unnamed informant down to Killeen PD and have him tell his story to them. But Harker Heights, you go to a judge, you get an arrest warrant for this guy.
Right.
Alright, great. You got a warrant for his arrest. So if he gets stopped on a traffic violation in Killeen or something like that, then he has an arrest warrant based upon an informant's thing. So you're going to arrest him for what somebody else said to you that I did.
Right.
Right? With no evidence to that. So if I get arrested just because he said I did something, and then now what are you going to do? Because I got arrested in Harker Heights. So now are you going to issue a search warrant from Harker Heights to come to my Killeen home?
Right.
And do something?
There you go.
There's a problem with that. I got some problems with the way the logic of this lays out. And police officer, if you can hear me, man, I'm talking to you, bro. Come on now, come on. You're people too. If this was you in your house, and someone broke into your house at Old Dock 30, what would you do? Would you wait to try to identify what clothes they're wearing? Or would you just do what you think you need to do to get them about your house? Right? We're shooting to stop the bad behavior. That's all we're shooting. There's a bad behavior. Someone's broken into my window while I'm home. So obviously he cares not for me or my family. Right?
Now, I talked to a police officer.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, mind you, I work special ed.
Okay.
So I think of things differently sometimes because of what I do.
Yeah.
All right. So I talked to one of the police officers, and I'm asking him, I'm talking about the no-knock, and he goes, well, listen, his house was set up like a criminal's house would be set up. I said, what do you mean? Just
How was that?
So he said, well, his back door was blocked. Okay.
So it's not.
He said, it was blocked, where nobody could get in. He said, and all his furniture was pushed against the wall. I said, okay. He said, and his bed was on the floor pushed against the wall. I said, okay. I said, so he's paranoid schizophrenic, huh? What do you mean? He goes, what? I said, people that are paranoid, they block all entries of where somebody could come in at so they can see. I said, which means if I had a front and a back door, my back door is going to be blocked.
Mm-hmm.
I say my bed would be on the floor against the wall because no one can get under my bed.
Mm-hmm.
I say, and if my bed is in the corner against the wall, I can see everything.
Mm-hmm.
I see everything. So he's looking at me like, what? I said, my living room, everything will be against the wall. My dining room table would only contain of maybe 2 chairs because the rest of the chairs and the table's against the wall in the corner. I said, so I can always see. I said, paranoid people do that. They live that way. So he's looking at me like, what? I said, so to me, you didn't describe a criminal's house.
Mm-hmm.
You described somebody that's paranoid, schizophrenic. You described their house.
Yeah. When I did paranoid schizophrenic, I have a lot of. I'm a veteran. I have a lot of veteran friends, and like they even go to a restaurant. They don't sit where they can't see the door.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. They always sit with their back against the wall where they can see the door. And if you go to their house, that's how they sit.
Yeah.
So this guy could just be a guy who's seen one too many bad things and say, "Hey, I want to see what comes through the door." Right. At 5 o'clock in the morning, what's coming through the door ain't for me.
Yeah. But they took that, and I see they took that analogy to make him really, really, oh my God, he's a real criminal because his house was set up. And when I said that to the police officer, he stopped and looked at me. He goes, so. He says, so you just took what I said and changed it. No, I didn't change it.
Yeah.
I said, I didn't change what you said. I left what you said exactly the same way. I just gave you my analogy.
Yeah.
Is that he's paranoid schizophrenic.
Yeah.
I said, or bipolar, or whatever you want to choose it. That's how they live.
Or he lives in a bad neighborhood.
Yeah.
Like I grew up in Detroit. Right?
Wait, don't be talking about Detroit now.
Why you go?
Hold on.
Why do you sleep on the floor? Why don't you sleep on the floor? What y'all doing all up next to them windows at night? Am I paranoid schizophrenic? No, I just want to live, man. I used to sleep on the floor.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I never grew up and traveled around, I may to this day still be thinking I'm gonna sleep on the floor.
Yeah.
But I'm still in Detroit now, right? So you cannot fault him for the way a guy's house is set up. It's set up for him to be comfortable, not to make you comfortable breaking in the house.
Yeah.
And in fact, one reason that I became aware of Marvin Guy's situation was with the reporting from the Killeen Daily Herald, which I'm a fan of and a subscriber to. If we didn't have our local newspaper, we would be missing so much information. And nowadays, you can rely in some cases on reporters to give facts when there are no other way to get it. So anyway, Clay Thorpe was a reporter for the Killeen Daily Herald, and he covered the crime beat. And so this was his a story to cover, the events that happened. Well, he also included situations like you're saying, the address of Mr. Guy, and it being in a high crime area, or having more reason maybe to be fearful in that area. But so through Clay Thorpe's extensive reporting, then I became questioning also of so many of the details in Marvin's case. And he then later, as the case kept going on and facts or the events happening, he became banned by the police department, and the city manager asked the police department, or required them to put somebody else on the crime beat. And so that also disturbs me, as far as having a light on all of the situation, where we're not seeing all of it. So again, that's something that I feel is relevant. And with the no-knock searches or warrants, it seems like all over the country, statistics show that there can be more harm done from a no-knock, more collateral damage. In fact, cases of innocent people who weren't even the target of the search. And again, police going to the wrong door or wrong house, and then innocent people getting killed or hurt also, and also the risk to the officers. So it would seem that a police department would be very leery of using this, and as statistics, as I said, around the country show.